All right, today we're going to take a look at the tiniest box that's ever arrived here for a review. This small boy claims to pack a serious audio punch and give the convincing impression that you're sitting in the middle of a huge speaker surround system. And it won like 15 Best of CES awards this year. 15! We're going to see if this thing's on the level. You ready? Let's go! Yo, I'm Brian P. You're watching Bad Seed Tech, and today we're taking a look at the SXFI headphone DAC amp from Creative. Now, for transparency, this was sent out for review by Creative, but as you should know by now, doesn't affect my review in any way. So what we've got here is a tiny headphone DAC amp, about the size of my pinky finger. Packed inside is an AKM 4377 DAC, what they call a 3x amp, and a surround DSP processor that can handle 8 channels of 2496 audio. Priced at $144.99, it's geared mainly for Android phones. So if you've ever found yourself feeling jealous about the size of your buddy's dongle, not anymore. Inside the tiniest box, you'll get a single sheet of paper outlining the setup, the amp itself, a short USB to USB-C adapter, and a USB-C to micro USB adapter. Unfortunately, absent here is a USB-C to USB-A cable, so you can use this thing with the laptop or PC, but we'll touch more on that in a bit. The amp itself is pretty sparse, with connections for USB-C, 3.5mm in, volume up and down, mute, and the holographic audio button. Buying now will also land you a free included pair of the lightweight closed-back Arvana headphones that should look pretty familiar if you've ever used an EMU design. These are certified for Super XBI. That's the technology behind the surround sound. They're good, they're not great. For setup, you basically download the app, create an account, connect the device, and then it'll walk you through a process where you take a picture of your left ear, the full front of your face, and your right ear. I'm not gonna show you a close-up of my ear in 4K. You're welcome. It does this personalized mapping because Creative has compiled loads of data to tell the algorithm how to best present this music to you based on your head size and shape. Once everything is set up, you just start the app, which appears to automatically locate any music you may have physically stored on your device. It also gives you access to headphone selection and an EQ. The list for headphones is fairly extensive. Sometimes you'll have to settle for close enough. Some are certified, some aren't. I don't find that it makes a huge difference. Before we even get into the holographic audio, strictly as a headphone amp for your phone, this thing is a beast. It claims it can power up to 600 ohm headphones, but the spec sheet says it only provides 26 milliwatts at 600 ohms, so I don't have any 600 ohm headphones in-house right now, but my DT990s at 250 ohm are able to get about 2 levels too loud for me. This also pushes the power-hungry HE4XX planars, and it's able to make the low end come to life. The performance of both was actually pretty impressive. This unit will not provide the same level of clarity or power that you're going to get from a desktop unit, but as a mobile solution, it fills a huge need for me personally because now I have access to all my high-end headphones being driven right off my phone. My favorite headphone experience with this unit goes to the DT990 actually. This unit seems to alleviate the sibilance, that sometimes harshness you get in the highs with that set. The included Arvana SE headphones can hit low end very well, but they lose definition in the highs at high volume. Like you'll hear kind of like a smudging in the hi-hats, ride cymbals, etc. And the other place where this thing absolutely kills, in your car. In the event you use an aux cable in your vehicle, or if you travel a lot and have rentals, this thing will bring even like a basic ass stock system to life. And the whole time it's powered off the phone itself, which has both pros and cons. First, you'll never have to worry about charging this thing separately, which is really solid from a convenience standpoint. But on the downside, it relies on your phone's battery for power, and because it occupies the USB port, there's no way to charge your phone while you're using this. In practice, if you're listening to music, it just eats your battery a little bit more. But if you're watching video content, particularly if you're streaming that content, the combined effect of all those things can actually hit your battery pretty hard. Now, let's talk about this holographic audio. First things first, it does actually create a convincing effect of sitting in the middle of a speaker field. When it works well with the source material, it's like it takes a soundstage and just pushes it out by miles. It shines on most video content, particularly stuff encoded with some sort of surround already, like watching Dolby Atmos demos on YouTube is nuts. Movies are amazing. And I don't game on mobile, but I could definitely see, depending on the game you're playing, where you could get some pretty cool results. I listen to ASMR to put me to sleep because my brain has no chill. I was hoping this would add an extra layer, but it gives me the perception of those close binaural sounds being pulled further away from my ears. And that's not what I want. I want those right in there. Music is honestly very hit or miss for me with this mode. The EQ gets weird, the mids get a little jumbled up, vocals lose a little definition, and they become echoey. I can't do it. But it does work with some live recordings, creates a pretty cool effect, and it shines on non-vocal stuff. So like EDM, house, drum and bass, synthwave, very cool. Fun. And I definitely need to clarify this here. here because we're definitely not in audiophile territory anymore once that button is pressed. Casual music listeners will probably enjoy it more, especially because that mode has a tendency to really boost the bass. Okay, so seeing as how this thing is USB-C, in a very natural instinct, I wanted to see how many things I could plug it into. On the PC, unless you're blessed with a USB-C header on the front of your case, chances are you're going to need a USB-C to USB-A cable to reach behind. That way you can keep the controls on the unit close to you. So you know the first thing I tested was Black Ops 4 because it's an audio engine that already does surround pretty well, and it doesn't play nice with other surround effects, and this was no different. I honestly think I'm done testing Black Ops with surround. Far Cry titles have a tendency to play pretty nice with surround, and it did here as well. Still some of the weirdness in the EQ, like your own footsteps were emphasized, but the directional positioning was surprisingly strong. I tested Battlefield 1 and the results were absolutely bananas. Crazy immersive. It felt like things were happening all around me. Really awesome experience. So I think with this unit, it's a nice side effect that it works in PC gaming, but Creative themselves have solutions that I think would be more geared towards PC gaming. One thing that I missed with using the surround sound was the ability to EQ that as well. So like Creative's own G6 would probably be a better solution overall. And since people are bound to ask, strictly from a gaming standpoint, I would not take this over like the GSX1000 because that unit adds the absolute least amount of color to the EQ when it does surround. Watching movies on your PC, absolutely insane. Here's a question I know I'll get. If the video file you're watching is encoded with Dolby Atmos, then Dolby Atmos headphone is going to be the better choice by a wide margin. If it's not encoded in Atmos, but instead encoded with any other type of surround technology at all, this unit is going to sound better. It just feels more, and I hate this word, but cinematic, more so than the surround sound on the G6 or the GSX1000 when you're watching movies. Being USB-C, it's probably a pretty cool option with the Nintendo Switch as well. I don't have one. The fact that it uses USB-C instead of a 3.5mm in knocks it out of the running for being able to use it with a PS4 controller, which is a shame because I thought this might be the one to finally address some of those volume issues you find with that controller. You can use a USB-C to USB-A cable if you want to use this directly off your PS4 console. Probably sounds pretty good, but you're gonna have to figure out a different way to work around comms. An iPhone is not officially supported. There is a workaround for it, but it's pretty clunky and it's just not really my scene. So let's wrap this up. It's unique for sure. Some of the portable DAC amp solutions can be as large or larger than your phone itself. The biggest issue with the overall value of this unit is that the applications are pretty specific. Mainly Android phones, laptops, and it will open a huge world of headphones to you that, depending on your device, may not have been available to you before. As an audiophile or enthusiast, you're gonna want this thing for the power and the convenience that it provides, but that holographic audio, probably gonna be a miss for you for music. Movies and games though? Yeah. As a casual music listener, chances are you've already got a pair of low-ohm, easy-to-drive headphones that you like to use with your phone, so the holographic audio here is going to be a tough sell at $149.99. Personally, I've had this thing for about 3 weeks now, and I basically just carry it everywhere with me. I use it on my phone, I use it in the car. I don't really use it at all for PC gaming. It's just that I have better solutions specifically for that. So $150 for that feels stout. It's available exclusively from Creative right now, and I think it's even discounted a bit currently. Nonetheless, if they price this thing at like $99 and skip the free headphones, I would be much more enthusiastic about it. Questions on anything I covered today, just hit me in the comments or drop by the Discord. We've actually got a growing audio community over there. It's very knowledgeable and very helpful, so stop by and we'll do our best to get you fixed up. And that's it for this time. I'm Brian P. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, hit that sub button, and until next time, stay up. Hey, look, you won the award for the world's tiniest penis. Not double clutching like you should. You almost had me. You never had me. You never had your car.